This one's another bit of an out there question. Sorry, we have a little bit what if and odd questions for you.
Sure.
If someone came up to you, not knowing who you were, so they didn't know you were Razerguy, they didn't know you owned Razer or anything like that, and they came up to you and said, "Oh, I'm really looking for a new keyboard, but I don't know who to go with. Do you know anyone?" What would you say to them without leading on who you are?
Well, that happens. It happens all the time. I was actually in Best Buy. I was in Los Angeles at the E3 show last week, and I was in a Best Buy store actually buying a smartphone. And since Razer doesn't make phones, I happened to just walk into the area, and there was a woman there shopping for her son, and I was over there with the mice and keyboards, and she actually asked me which mouse I should get for her son. And I said, well, what's he? I asked her. I said, what does he play? What games is he playing? And she said that, well, he plays World of Warcraft. And I said, well, then here's the mouse for you.
Yeah,
But I always ask people, how they're going to use the product. And I
yeah,
did recommend the Naga to her, and I explained why. And she thought it was kind of like a funky looking cell phone, with all the buttons on it. And I explained how they worked and how it worked in the game, and she was pretty impressed. And although it took a little while to explain it to her because she wasn't really technical, it's kind of how it works. And this happens all the time to me. In fact, people are always asking me because where I live, it's some of the older retired people, and they're always asking me, what game should I play if I get, gaming is actually really, really good for your brain as you get to be over 40, over 50, and actually helps expand the brain and helps you create new neurons and new brain synapses, and actually it's really really good for people who might start suffering some minor deterioration and memory loss, and we call old timers disease. But so I'm always telling people, well, Sims games are really good, or any MMO where you have to, like, make multiple decisions, and you have to do multiple tasks, like you're grinding, and you're questing, and you're defending, and you're attacking, and you're and you've got professions, and you're foraging all at the same time. You're doing all these things multitasking. So I get people asking me, what games, what equipment, and all the time. So it's not unusual.
Mm. Oh, that's good. So hopefully we can maybe start up a LAN or something in a retirement village and really help out there.
Yeah. Well, most of them wind up playing sim games.
uh,
That's what they like.
no Quake lands or anything.
Unfortunately, no. They look at that violence, and they kind of cringe. And
uh,
I said, "Oh, you don't understand it." But
uh,
the best,
um,
probably,
yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say, probably the best game ever made, Quake 2.
Bold statement, bold statement.
Well,
I'm sure you'll have a lot of people supporting you there. That game has definitely survived through the times.
yeah.
Um, all right. I
That
think
that one in Grim Fandango. Do you remember that one?
no, I don't actually.
Oh, it's
I might need to.
action adventure game. Check it out. Grim Fandango. Incredible game.
All right, I'll look it up and I'll let you know how it goes. All right. Looks like we've really only got one more question for you, and this one was thrown in at the last minute by someone.
Sure.
Um, why don't you use green LEDs in your products?
Well, we did in a few. We actually had a couple products with green LEDs. The blue ones are they're less expensive because there's so many of them. The blue lighting is more commonplace in the PCs. So when we were doing a single color, blue was probably the the easiest one to keep costs down, to keep our prices down, and then it was also it looked, it was closer to the way people were modding their there were PCs at the time too. So there were so many more people that were modding the blue, and then we've done a few red. Now we're doing the multi. So you got
Oh yeah.
16 million colors now on so many of the products with the multicolors, and so the multicolor lighting is really the thing. So you can have green now, and you can have you know. Uh, Blue or red or whatever you want. But it was a initially it was a decision based on supply and cost and demand. When we people don't realize that when Razer has a fairly successful mouse, we'll sell 1 million in the first year, so like the Naga or the Death Adder or the Mamba. Those mice they sell 1 million. When we when we try to get 1 million LEDs in green, it's almost impossible. They're just not making them.
Ah yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, so it was a matter of supply and demand for us. Now we
Okay.
can get the multicolor, so it's a lot better.
Yeah, I've seen that actually coming up in the new version of the Mamba.
Yeah, right.
So
The
so
refresh. Right.
yeah. So people will be able to tweak it to match their rigs. Excellent.
Personally, I really like the Death Adder Black. It has no lighting at all. I really like that. I think it's just refreshing to me to have something that's just so clean. It's so
Yeah.
clean. You know. But anyway, I'm I'm talking too much, aren't I?
No, 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 not at all. But yeah, I think that sums it up for all the questions. Yeah, we thank you very much for your time and for joining us, and
Yeah,
have
yeah.
fun with your Quake game later on.
Thank you, Ryan. It was a pleasure. Anytime, by the way. Anytime.
Excellent. Catch you later.
Okay. Bye bye.